everybody, so welcome back again. So today I'm going to talk about something that's actually an old document, but I think in the modern times is more important than ever. That document is called the Team Charter, so bear with me. So let's imagine you just joined a team. A new team has been formed. Now you might imagine yourself, you'd all go in the office, you sit around a big wooden table, you'd have a discussion with the leader, you'd all meet each other, maybe then in the break you'd have a coffee together, then lunch together, perhaps something in the evening. Now, maybe that would be the case decades ago, but that's not how the modern teams kick off, right? In the global environment. You might go into a small conference room with one or two other colleagues that are in the same area as you. The leader might not even be in the same country, let alone the same building. You'll have people all around the world. Probably English isn't the first language for most of the people, or some of the people. Most of the people are probably virtual. Probably half the people haven't got their videos on. Somebody's video drops off halfway through, normally the person who's the leader or the person driving the meeting. You might do a round table, but half the people are not on the call when you do the round table, so you hear these voices coming in, you don't know who they are. And that's normally your kickoff meeting and you're forming of a modern team. And you know what, as you can imagine, that could be problematic. But you know, a team charter can actually help with this kind of phases of the team and the fact that people don't really know each other at the beginning. And that's where the team charter can be very useful. Now, when teams form at the beginning, everybody's going to be nice to each other. We're all professionals. We all want to get on with people. But then when the pressure starts, when the bosses start asking for results from the team, where are we with the results of the team? Did we get that result? Pressure comes on. Then people's personalities come out. You might see working styles clashing. Perhaps people have different priorities inside the team or what they want to do. Perhaps it's not really clear the roles and responsibilities between the team members or who makes the decisions. And you start to get clashes and you start to get issues and you get to get little fights and teams don't quite trust each other yet. So it can be quite an unpleasant environment at the beginning when you're inside a team. It can be pretty unpleasant. So what I want to talk about here, what that is part of what they call 4 phases of a team coming together. And that's called Tuckerman's ladder. And so if we talk about, so Tuckerman's ladder has 4 phases. The forming phase, obviously, when teams come together. Or the obvious phase when I just talked about. Then the storming phase where everyone's kind of got edges about them and they don't quite understand each other and they're fighting a little bit with each other. That's the storming phase. Then you have the norming phase. People have kind of got through that now. They know each other. They understand what they have to do. They're not quite fully efficient yet, but they know where they are. And then finally, you've got then the performing phase when people are performing, where they're coming together like an oiled machine, working together. Now, here's the problem. Teams can get stuck in the storming phase. They might never come out of it. And in fact, it can happen. And when they don't come out of it, it's called a toxic team. It's when people are fighting with each other, always going for position. People don't quite know who's in charge, who's responsible. It can be horrible. But you know, you can get stuck there. Or it can be extended, it can be long. And you know what? The team charter can really help reduce that phase. Team charter can be excellent in getting that storming phase as short as possible. Now, on this kind of last section of this, I want my videos to be about the real world. And I've just given you a nice, fluffy, candle-lit version of a team charter that everyone's going to say, oh, a team charter, it's going to solve the world. Now, I know in reality, it might not be like that. If you're not doing a team charter, you could face some resistance in doing a team charter with the teams. You know, I can imagine responses like, what are we doing this for? We got to get on with the tasks. You know, we're all professionals here. We all know how we should work together. Why do we need to spell this out? Let's just get on with the work. I can fully imagine somebody saying something like that. So does that mean you don't do a team charter? It means you need to progress into it. And you know what? There are ways that you can introduce a team charter without actually people knowing it's a team charter. In the kickoff meetings, start with ground rules. Say, look, everybody, we need to work together. How about having videos on? We need to schedule, we're all in different time zones. What's our working schedule of the team? So you know what? You can build in this team charter into the team. Start talking about and doing it without actually making it a formal team charter if you're finding resistance. And of course, you're going to have to convince people, but you can convince people in tangible ways. Saying things like, oh, I couldn't understand who was speaking, the video conference was off. Various ways that you can do it. And again, ultimately, the team has to sign off on it, one way or the other, in some way, in order for it to be a buy-in. It can't be invented by you. But saying that, other things, you could write maybe a set of ground rules. Hey, look, everybody, I've got these ground rules. I want your opinion on this. I want you to tell me how it is. If you get resistance, better if the team do it themselves. But if you've got resistance, start off with something. That's very important. The other thing about a team charter is that it's a living document. If new people join the team, if new phases join, you're probably going to need to revisit the team charter and update it. I think the team charter is a very powerful tool. And more than ever, in the kind of environments we face ourselves with when we build teams, it's more important and more valuable than ever to make sure that that storming phase is valuable to the company, that it's short and it's effective. So I hope you enjoyed this video in the team charter. And you know what? Thanks for watching.